June 19, 1944. The sky above the Pacific boiled with storm clouds and steel. South of the Marianas, a clash of titans unfolded. It would be remembered not only for the carnage and courage, but as the moment the Empire of Japan's hopes of air supremacy came crashing from the heavens. This is the story of the Battle of the Philippine Sea, the day the Japanese Navy took to the sky and never truly returned. For 3 years, the Pacific Ocean had run red, from the smoking decks of Pearl Harbor to the bitter sands of Tarawa. The United States and Japan had waged a war of attrition across island chains and ocean fronts. But now, in June 1944, a new theater opened near the Marianas. The U.S. wanted Saipan. Its capture would put American bombers within range of Tokyo itself. For Japan, this was existential. They could not afford to lose, so they launched everything. Admiral Jisaburo Ozawa, commanding Japan's remaining aircraft carriers, mustered nearly 450 planes and 9 carriers. It was a final gamble, a last breath of offensive power. But the Americans, under Admiral Raymond Spruance and Admiral Mark Mitcher, had something new. Not just more ships and planes, but better radar, better training, and perhaps most crucially, veterans. The Americans had been forged in Guadalcanal, hardened by Coral Sea, and sharpened at Midway. The Japanese, many of their elite pilots had already died, and war does not wait for rookies. At dawn on June 19th, Japanese aircraft rose from their decks like a steel storm. Waves of Mitsubishi Zeros and torpedo bombers screamed toward the American fleet. But radar had already seen them coming. U.S. fighters, Hellcats, with growling engines and shark-tooth noses, launched into the sky to meet them. And then, it began. The great Marianas Turkey Shoot. American pilots, with superior planes and disciplined formations, tore through the Japanese squadrons. One after another, Japanese aircraft spiraled into the ocean, flaming comets, trailing smoke and death. In 4 massive waves, the Japanese sent in nearly 350 planes. More than 300 never returned. Lieutenant Alex Vratu, an American ace, downed 6 dive bombers in just 8 minutes. He landed with only 5 bullets left in his guns. It was a massacre, but it wasn't over. That night, Admiral Mitcher did something bold. He ordered a late evening carrier strike, knowing most of the returning pilots might not find their ships in the dark. Scores of U.S. aircraft lit the night like fireflies, seeking and sinking fleeing Japanese ships. The cost to the Japanese Navy was apocalyptic. They lost 3 aircraft carriers, including the Hayo, and almost 600 aircraft across 2 days. More devastating than the metal was the human toll. Japan lost nearly all of its seasoned carrier pilots, men who could not be replaced. The U.S., just over 100 planes lost, some from combat. Many simply couldn't find their way home in the dark. And yet, American destroyers lit their decks. Sailors waved flashlights, calling their comrades back from the sky. Many were rescued from the sea. That too was victory. The Battle of the Philippine Sea wasn't just another battle. It was the end of Japan's naval aviation power. From this day forward, Japanese carriers would sail, but without sting. They had ships, but no wings. Hulls, but no hope. For many of the young Japanese pilots who perished, it was their first and last mission. For the Americans who survived, it was a reminder. War is not just strategy and steel. It is blood, loss, and chance. And on June 19th, 1944, that chance favored the skies of freedom. The Empire's wings were clipped in the skies over the Philippine Sea. From that day forward, the tide of war surged ever closer to Japan's shores. The cost was immense. The silence of the fallen, eternal. But history remembers, and so do we.